Hi my viewers, Suzie Yule Diadem, karibuni sana. I'm happy that we still have another opportunity to share our lives. Remember, here we say, living positive regardless. Doesn't matter the point at which you are in life, positivity or the way. So, karibuni sana to today's edition. And today I'm happy that I'm joined by one beautiful lady here. And I will give her a chance to introduce herself. Then I'll let you know what it is for today. Karibuni. Welcome, Faye. It's good to have you here.
Nice
it's your first time here.
Yeah, it's my first time to be here and I'm very happy.
Wow. So I just want you to meet my viewers. Maybe you tell them who you are, where you come from. Yes.
All right. My name is Wamboi Maina and I come from Nyahururu. I was born and raised up in Nyahururu. That is in Laikipia, and I am a firstborn in a family of 6. Yeah. So I'm a mom. I'm a wife, and I am a believer in God. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's it for now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful. It's because we are trying to bring some sanity in the society.
Okay.
And we are trying to say that we have amidst of so much negativity, there are values for family. So good to know that, Faye. Yeah. So maybe before we get to the family, we would want to know this girl, this wife and a mom. How was life growing up ukiwa from Nyahururu?
Yes. That is a typical village setup, yeah.
Okay.
So I come from an extended family where we lived with my grandparents and then my uncles around there, and then we were in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is the kind of a setup I grew up in, and I remember I think it was very fun because in the evenings, like we used to go and visit an aunt, an uncle, my grandfather. Even today, by the way, if you go home, you have to go and visit my grandfather, like in the evening, and spend time with him. Yeah.
Wow.
So I grew up I come from a very humble background.
Okay.
Yeah. So my dad was and still is a farmer, and my mom was a farmer by default. Yes, I'm saying by default because my mom is not the type who likes to kwenda kwa shamba kulima. You understand that? But because she was married to a person who loves farming, yeah. So that's what I'm saying by default. But that was not her thing.
Okay.
So for me, I know most of the works in a farm, yeah. Apart from milking, those real ones, I'm not, like, I don't know them, but kulima tu vitu tudogo, those ones I can, but milking and stuff like that, I think I don't
coming from a family of farmers, whether by default or by choice.
No, I have never milked, by the way, like, wow. because we have uncles.
Okay.
Actually, I remember that is the thing. We have uncles. So if you have some of the jobs that are supposed to be done by a man, and my dad is not there, you call your other dad.
Okay.
Baba mdogo, baba mkubwa. So you call them, hey, can you come and help me with this and this? So the masculine jobs. Okay. I'm not sure if milking is masculine.
So I think it is.
I think it is.
Because I also don't know how to do it. Eh?
You know. So those masculine things, na kukata kuni. We would ask for help. Okay. So I grew up in a typical African village setup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Knowing what as an African girl?
Collecting firewood, I did. I did collect firewood. I did collect firewood, and something else which we did. Do you see the way from the road to the homestead? There is grass on the sides.
Yes.
So we used to plate the grass. Yeah, so that one I never really forget. So I'm a stylist anyway. I'm a stylist by nature, and that is where it comes from. And the fortunate or the unfortunate things. So during the day, we go there and then we plate the grass, and then we style the grass, and then the parents they went away. They don't even know what we were doing. So wanakuja wanaingiza mguu up. Definitely they are falling. So my childhood was fun.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's how fun it can get growing up with some people in the village. But then I also find the village life was so fun. The things that we used to do. I don't know whether you did maybe it was meant for boys. But me growing up, I was a tomboy. So we used to do this where you put water on a hill, then you're sliding. I don't know whether you did that.
Well, yes, that was also an activity that we engaged in, but that was not my cup of tea.
Okay.
I did
yeah,
not
so I
pick
was
on
just
those.
sharing that in African setup, growing
it
up,
is very
it's so fun.
the activities seems universal, like in the continent. Yeah, so any African setup, it's almost the same in Nigeria, everywhere else.
Okay.
Yeah, which is actually very, very fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So at that point, maybe my viewers will want to introduce why we are having Faye here. You've known where she's from and how she grew up. We want to still talk about matters to do with the relationships. And as you have heard, she's a wife. So we might say, or we want to say that she have succeeded in area to do with relationship.
Succeeding is the right word. Key point is succeeding.
Yes. So, and the reason she's here, we want to impact a life of a young lady there who still have thought and have felt this and have had this negative information and some people have lost hope in love. They are saying there is no love, and so we want to talk about relationship. She will share with us her journey, how she has gone up to the time she has now become a wife, and how it has been for her. So Faye, I'll start with this. Do you believe in love?
Yes, and I believe in not the normal love, the boring. I believe in that not mediocre. Yeah.
Okay.
Love which touches you and touches your soul and changes you, changes your soul, changes your life. Like, to me, even before I met my husband and before I got married, I knew what I wanted.
Okay.
So every time I shared with people, like my friends, there are these things, unasemanga, that one unless you create for yourself. Yeah. So that is the type of a love I knew I wanted to be in.
Okay.
Yes, and that's exactly.
You believed in uniqueness, into what you believed was love.
In uniqueness, and it has to be something different from what you're getting from everyone else.
Okay.
Love from your partner, it has to be different. Yeah. You have to feel like you have someone. You have to feel like you have someone, your other half. Yeah. Okay. It's not like you're feeling this person, you don't even feel them, you don't even remember them, you don't even. So that was not me.
Okay.
Yeah. So for me, I knew that I wanted to find that kind of a love, the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, the things that we watch on TV and everything. Yeah. So of course people discouraged me and they said, "Hey, where do you think that is coming from?" and everything. But I was like, I know I'll find it someday.
You're saying what we see in the movie is what you wanted in reality.
In reality, and people told me
it's not.
That's what I think. I think you need to be real. They need to be real.
Okay.
So the real is the mediocre thing. Sometimes the person, they don't even know what you love. You don't do stuff for each other. You don't share activities. You don't do nothing. Yeah. Okay. But for me, it was like, why would I engage myself in such kind of a thing? It's boring. Yeah. So for me, actually, I do not like boring things.
Okay.
To start with. So when I was praying, I was telling God, just know that just don't give me this, you give me this and this and this. Okay. Yeah. So.
Wow. And I must agree, I'm admiring how you are doing life and your marriage life. I must say I'm admiring it, and then maybe you will let us into that. Yeah. But I know before you got into that, now that you're saying there is a mediocre kind of love, is it something that you knew from Kitambo? Have you ever found yourself in love that you would say that was mediocre? Have you been in a past love, your husband now is the first person who came and made you know the true love?
First of all, I think I'll say something. For me, I knew what my husband was going to look like. Okay. And it was an outward feature. So every time I met someone else who had a different kind of feature, I was like, this is not him.
Okay.
So like I would not even open my heart to him because I knew this was not the person.
Okay.
So even if I had something, because I was in past relationships, like maybe 2, 3, I have a daughter.
Okay.
So definitely I had another relationship with another man.
Okay.
And I did not end up getting married to him.
Okay.
Because of the same reason. Because I was like, oh well. So for me, I knew what type of person I was going to get into a relationship with.
Okay.
So there is no point in time where I met someone and was like, oh, I think this is it. I have never really felt that this was it with a person because I knew. Yeah. I had something which I had written down somewhere, like this and this and this and this. He has to be like that.
Okay.
So I did not meet someone else who had the things that he had.
Okay.
So it's just him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I
wow.
did not meet someone else who had the physical, because when I asked God, I'm actually a believer, and for me, I have a special or maybe different relationship with God. I ask God things which I ask him, like, give me a sign.
Okay.
So I had asked God for 2 signs. So when I saw those, I was like, okay, yeah, here he is. He arrived.
Okay.
So there's no point in life. I had met someone else and I was thinking, is this my husband? No, that did not happen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that decision was it informed by the fact that in your past relationships there is something you saw that was not working with you that made you to arrive to a point where you were saying 1, 2, 3 is what I want for a husband? Was it informed by an experience of the past, or it's just in you?
It was not due to past relationships, yeah, because from when I think from when I was a little bit over 20s, that is when I knew. I started having ideas in my head.
Okay.
Like, wow, I think I would love this and this and this and this and this and this and this. So I formed the kind of a relationship I want and the kind of a marriage I want in my head.
Okay.
Not because something else had happened, I didn't want that. It's something I formed like from scratch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So it is possible for one to be definite of what they want and they go for it.
Why not?
Or was it so easy? Did you plan this is what I want today, and then maybe a few days down the line, was it easy to come to realize that dream?
Me meeting my husband and easy cannot be in the same sentence.
Wow.
It was hectic, but for me, I used to tell God that I don't care about time. I don't have a timeline, yeah. I can get married at 20, 25, 40, 45. So I used to tell God, take your time. Because this is the type of a person I want, and it is not like an everyday person. It's not like an everyday thing.
Okay.
So take your time, yeah. So whenever he's ready, whenever you feel I'm ready to meet that person, you just make it happen. So it is, maybe I can just give the figure. I can just say the years.
Yes.
I'm okay with that. When I wrote down, by the way, so for me what I did, I used to write down about my husband in a book, in a notebook. So I write things and I write things and I write things, and then I'm praying and I'm praying and I'm telling God, I want this and this and this. Can you make him like this? I want him to look like this and everything. So it actually took me 5 years of praying on the same page.
Wow. 5
years of good morning, God, so it's me again, and then you read the prayer.
Wow.
That's how I do my prayers. So I prayed for 5 years. And as I said, I have a daughter who is 12. She's turning 13 this June.
Oh.
Yeah.
13?
Yeah, I'm a mom of 13.
Give us the secret.
I know.
Oh my, okay.
So, the type of a partner I was waiting for was not only for me.
Okay.
It was for my daughter as well, for her dad.
Okay.
So I recruited her and I told her, you're also going to ask the type of a dad that you'd want to have. So she also took a piece of paper and she's writing, my dad to be this and this and this and this. So we would do our prayers together. We would read our notes together.
Wow.
And then in the maybe some weekends, and then now she's just watching TV and everything. I'm like, wait, did you ask for your dad this morning?
Wow.
She was like, yes, I did. So it was 5 years of me and my daughter asking for that man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would want us to get also to understand who got introduced to a dad, and she wasn't open to the idea, and we were just sharing and saying clearly the mother was not looking for a dad, she was looking for a husband, so there was no reason for her to come and ask the daughter because she was looking for a husband, not a dad. So your view in this is that one should also consider the other person.
Yeah, because it who is the person coming into your lives affecting who and who. So it's you and the children if you have children.
Okay.
So there's no way you're going to start thinking about getting married and everything and you're not including the other person, even if it's a child.
Okay.
You're supposed to bring them on board.
Okay.
You're supposed to tell them, I would like to get married in future. What type of a dad would you like to have? So they can give you an expectation of what they have of the man.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I had recruited my daughter into doing the prayers with me.
Okay.
And I told her, you are asking for a dad. Anything. For us, we do not have like a limitation on something or like any kind of a limitation. So I said to her, anything you think in your head you'd like to have from a dad, you just put it down on paper. So the thing is, maybe I can just maybe take you back just a little bit. For me and my daughter, we have a culture of writing things down.
Okay.
And then when the things happen, we take them off.
Okay.
So her writing something was not new.
Okay.
It was just going on with our culture because we're used to that. So I told her, write anything that comes to your head, put it down on paper and ask. Okay. She knows that God is not limited.
Okay.
And God can give you anything that you ask for.
Okay.
So she asked for a lot of things, and yes, she got a lot of things, even more than she was looking for. So it is like for her, she knew this man was coming.
Okay.
So she was not surprised. Because she was like, oh, wow, okay, that's an answered prayer. So you see, if I had not told her about the man, she would be like, so who are you? Why are you here? Yeah. Should be like, psychologically, it would mess up with her.
Okay.
But she knew. She was waiting. It's only that she knew it can take 1 year, 2 years, 5 years. Like our case, 20 years.
Wow, 5 years. Congratulations, by the way. Along the way, 5 years, you didn't drift or thought, were there things that were coming that looked like this is it?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
Okay,
there wasn't. There wasn't exactly. I didn't come across anything that was like about to confuse me, because I was very precise.
Okay.
I was like, this has to be like this and this and this and this and this. So I didn't come across that.
Okay.
Yeah?
Patience, guys, patience. Now, having gone and waited for 5 years, please let us into it. So, because you said you're married, so how did this happen? Take us now to this now after 5 good years.
Yeah. So after 5 good years, I think. Okay, let me just say how it happened. Yeah. For me, I joined a dating site.
Okay.
I joined a dating site, and I knew the type of a person, especially in color. For me, he had to be white.
Wow.
Okay. So for me, nilikuwa nimeandikia Mungu vizuri, akuwe mzungu. Mungu tusi. I'm not confusing you. I'm precise. And then I had said, like, you see, there are so many white people.
Yeah.
But I had told God, like, I want to see some red hair somewhere.
Okay.
That was my sign. So you see, it's not every day you meet a Mzungu who has red hair. Not like the whole place. Like he has a mixture, and then I'll see a red.
Okay.
Somewhere. So I didn't meet a lot of those actually. So I was not confused.
Wow.
So I go into a dating site and I'm telling myself, okay, so this is it. I do the things that are supposed to be done. You register and everything. So you meet a lot of people. So not only in appearance, I had also said how he's supposed to treat me, how he's supposed to talk to me. So anytime someone started to talk to me and it is not how I wanted him to talk to me, I was like, shoo, block, not you. So I knew who I was waiting for. So I was actually, I think, in that dating site for 4 months.
Okay.
So I see this guy. So for me, even in normal life, it's very possible for me to feel things about people.
Okay.
So I look at him and I'm like, I'm looking at other people. I'm looking at other people and I'm like, oh, wait. I go back to his picture and I'm like, okay. So immediately I felt like I know this person. That's why I went back to him like, okay, I think I know him. So I look at him, I'm looking at the eyes, I'm looking at everything. And then I feel, you see, for me, I can look at a picture, someone's picture, and my spirit is like, So when I'm looking at him, I'm like, oh, okay, do I know this person or something? So he talks to me, like we start talking. So the way he's talking to me is the way I would exactly like to be addressed,
Wow.
you know? Like someone, yani, well thought. The words are well thought, ziko balanced, like, you know. So I was like, okay. So we introduce ourselves and everything. So my husband, actually, he said he would have loved to be here to give to tell us about his side, but I know his side, so I'll give it on his behalf until maybe he can have the chance.
We will want you also here.
So apparently for him, he's been looking for me for over 15 years actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like when we started talking, he was like, yeah, it's her, and I know, like, he was very sure.
Okay.
So he's talking to his friends and he's telling them, no, you know, I met someone and she's like this and this, and you know, they're like, okay. Like no one thought it was really what it is today. So we met and then he asked me where I come from. He did not ever come to Africa, leave alone Kenya.
Okay.
He had not come to Africa ever. So I'm explaining to him I come from Africa. He's like, yeah, I know Africa. So is that the place? Is that like I just go to Africa? I said, no, you go to Kenya, you come to Kenya. Kenya, you come to Nairobi. So I had to explain things to him, and then he went to the internet. He's looking for Africa, Kenya, Nairobi, everything. So when he goes to the internet, you know, the internet has things written. Yeah. So he's reading about my culture because I said I was explaining about the tribes we have here, and then I said I'm a Kikuyu. So he's typing Kikuyu.
Boy. I hope he got
Sasa
something
that one,
positive.
hiyo ni kuchoma.
I hope he
Kuchoma. No. The report was not good. What he got from the internet.
The Kikuyu.
Yeah. So he's saying that Kikuyu women, you know what they do to Wazungu. So he's like, whoa. Wait, okay, well. And then he also read about the culture, and there was something about sacrificing, human sacrifice. I think it was I don't know if it's in the 1900, I cannot even remember because I did not ever even experience that. So he's reading that and he's like, okay. So he's taking everything in. So we plan for him to come.
He's not giving up after seeing what he's found in
No.
Africa.
He told his friends, and the friends were like, but you cannot go to Africa alone. He was like, I am going.
Okay.
Yeah, so they were like, okay, you just need to be careful because we doubt if you're coming back. So we plan for him to come, and he arrives 3 months from the date we met.
Okay.
Yeah. So back home, I'm telling people. Let me say something else. Yeah. You see, I said I'm a firstborn. The sisters after me, they are married.
Okay.
So we go home. My sister comes. Sijui wa mama. Sijui what they come to do. Nini. And then me, I'm just there. So the women are asking me, "Where kwani you don't get married?" And I'm telling them, just wait. Yeah. Nitakuja tu na mtu. So my mom, we're friends with my mom. So I used to talk to her and aniuliza, when are you going to get married? And I tell her, I'm getting married to a Mzungu. And then she laughs and she's like, so where is the Mzungu? And I tell her, why are you in a rush? So you just wait for the Mzungu to come. Wait, ngoja, just wait. So my mom used to laugh and laugh and laugh. The sister after me is married. The one after that, the last born sister, she got married. My mom is like, okay, so when are you getting married? And I said, Mzungu ajafika, atafika. So my mom was like, okay, are you sick in the head or something? So we used to laugh. So when I meet this person, I tell my mom, hey, by the way, Mathis, you know this and this happened. Nini is like, okay. And then the way things happened, it looked too good to be true. Even my husband's friends, they used to tell him, that one, I don't think it's true. I think it's just something. The same with the people on my side. My cousin, there's a cousin of mine who said to me specifically, I remember, that man, you telling me he's like this and this and this and this and this and he's not married somewhere? I said, no, he's not married. And he wants to come and see you immediately. And I tell her, yeah. And she's like, you can't see there's something wrong. But what people don't know is like, I've been praying for 5 years. You see, the thing is, if you pray for something, God can answer in a minute. It does not matter. So long as you've been praying and you have faith that the thing is going to happen, don't worry if it looks too good to be true. It's going to happen just like that. So I tell my cousin, and then she tells me, okay, so when he's ready to land to Nairobi, I'll be there. I want to see. So some people actually thought, like, we have a lot of stories of dating. You meet someone and then he doesn't show up, he was a scammer or something. So the people I had told, they were waiting to see. So he arrives. I went with my sister and the kids. So he's very friendly with kids, actually, very, very friendly. Even with my daughter, it was very easy for them to blend in, because he's very friendly, and he has a parenting thing in him, even if he's not like a parent yet. So it was very easy for him to relate with the kids. So we go to the airport. Before he arrived, he had gone to the airport. He's Canadian. My husband is Canadian. So he went to the airport, and in 2021, to come to Kenya, you didn't need a visa. But in 2021 they said you have to have. In 2022 they said you have to have a visa. So the information he had with him is like, I just need tickets, and I go to Nairobi. So he goes to the airport and they tell him you need to have a visa. So his flight left as he was trying to get the visa and everything. So he calls me. I was with him throughout. We talk a lot on video, like in the morning, evening, and everything. So I can see what is happening to him, and the flight has left. So I have an aunt of mine who is in the US. So for her, she was like, we are close with her. So I was telling her, hey, auntie, by the way, because even her, I used to tell her, like, just me, hey, me, nitaolewa tu na Mzungu. So she used to tell me, don't worry, you'll just get one Mzungu. So I told her, and she told me, I told her that his flight has been, the flight left. So she was like, well, are you sure he's coming? Are you sure he's coming? So for me, I was very sure because I was with him at the airport on video. So he had to go back home, actually. So you can imagine those people who are waiting to see, and then you start telling them, no, is the flight, it got cancelled.
I'm also starting to doubt.
So the good thing is that the visa got approved, I think it was the third day. So third day, kabla mtu anza kukuuliza, so what happened? See, ulisema he's coming on Tuesday and today is on Sunday. Where is he? So I had time, yeah. So my sister came, and then we picked him at the airport, and he met my mom, he met my family, my dad, everyone. So when I saw him, I did not doubt if he was coming. But when I saw him, it was very different. It was like, wow. It was just a very different moment for us. So he comes, and then we settle in the country. And you know, we start to talk. We talk a lot. So he's been telling me, we go on to discuss the things, you know. I did not ever think I was going to come to Nairobi and everything, and I'm like, oh well, that is a lot of effort. So I'm telling him, thank you for everything. I also did not think that you're going to come so soon and everything. So it was very, very beautiful.
Okay.
So I invited my parents, my mom, where we were living. So she comes with everyone else, like my cousins, my sisters, and everyone.
Wow.
So my husband, he's the type of a person, as I said, in the movies. So he cooks for people.
Ouch.
He does everything. So we are sitting down. He says for people to sit down. Like he doesn't want to sit down so that we can serve him. He wants us to sit down so he can serve us.
Okay.
So my mom is like, like, he's in the sink, can you go and do that? And I'm like, no, he said, he asked me to sit down. So he makes milkshakes for us.
Here in Kenya.
So he makes milkshakes for us and he's bringing everyone in their glass. So ukienda kuamka to do something, he says, no, just sit down, I'll do it for you. What do you want me to do for you?
That's boy child abuse here in Kenya, we call it.
Let me tell you, everyone was surprised.
Wow.
Me included. Because I thought he would shy away from my mom and my family, and then he doesn't want to be seen going to the kitchen and cooking. He doesn't know, but he was very okay with everything. He was serving even kids. Like, if you want everything, you tell Uncle Steph.
Wow.
So my mom was like, okay. So so tukipitana kwa nyumba hivyo, he was like, my love, are you okay? Are you okay? Like, he asks me that all the time. So my mom, in a sarcastic tone, with my sisters, they're like, where, my love, are you okay? Anytime I pass my mom, she's like, my love, are you okay?
Asking you whether you're okay.
I think so. So he makes food for us. He does everything. We have a very good time. And then he's moving from one bedroom, anachukua nguo, he's taking them to the washer, to the washing machine. My mom is like, no, just go and do it. And I tell my mom, he said for me to sit down.
So you, Faye, you are comfortable sitting down.
Okay, let me tell you something. The Bible says, that God is able to do abundantly and exceedingly more than what we ask for.
Father.
So if I'm telling God, give me a husband who helps me to do the housework, because me, I don't believe in, like, the man is sitting there with his legs on the table
with the remote,
and I'm running with the kids, with everything, the milk is pouring, everything. No, I did not want that kind of a thing.
Okay.
So I said to God, give me someone who is going to help me. So God gave me someone who helps me. But I'm like, no, you can't do that anymore. You have to sit down. Like, we are fighting to ask the other person to sit down so that you can do the work.
Okay, he has brothers, huh?
Unfortunately. No, he doesn't have brothers.
Poleni, my viewers, Poleni. I was asking for my viewers, by the way.
Viewers, Poleni sana. Maybe they can just do what I did, yeah? Tell
Pray and
God,
wait 5 years.
5 years, my friend, and 5 years is not the standard. You can even wait for 10.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah, so my mom was like, I have never seen this. Especially the way we were brought up. Mzee is for sitting down and saying, can I get some water? Can I get maize? Can I get beans?
They just need to cough.
Yes.
After a cough, you can tell what.
Running. So it was very new for my mom that a man can serve her.
Wow.
And she is actually being asked to sit down. And it was even newer for her that her daughter can sit down to be served as well. So she was like, okay. My mom, all the time, she was like, hey, don't know. I've never seen something like that. I know
they are looking at each other and they're like...
Yeah, but he actually was not doing that because of my parents, because of my mom. That's who he is.
Wow.
Like, that's... Sometimes I'm like, no, let me do this. And he just wants to do things. So after 5 years, I really am happy that I really waited for 5 years. And I said to God, you know, you have to let God know that he has the power to do what you're asking for. Don't pray assuming and showing God like he doesn't have the power. Don't pray and you don't believe it can happen. Pray and believe that what you're asking for can happen. So the stay was very good. We go home in the village and we meet my dad and everyone else, and everything goes very well. He's very likable, like he has a very warm air to himself. So it was very easy for him to interact with everyone else, but he didn't have a lot of days for the first time that he came. Soon it was time for him to go back, and he went back. So people were like, where? What? So even with my daughter, they also had a very good session. They painted, they did a lot of things. So for me, my daughter she likes painting and beadwork and everything, but I did not have the time. Actually, it's the money.
The money that you didn't have.
Let me not even talk about time, because I had the time, but I did not have the money. So I did not have the money to buy her the kits that she wanted and to take her for the training that she wanted and everything. My husband is very fine in arts. So he knew, he asked me about her, and we used to talk about her and everything. So I used to tell him her hobbies and everything. So he picked up that she liked painting. And he loves painting and drawing. So when he came, he brought her a lot of gifts for painting and paintwork and everything. So he also had time to teach her. So that's why I'm saying that God gives in abundance. So I'm there telling God, hey, Aki, you gods, you give me 5K, I buy ink and sijui what. And I'm there praying and praying and praying, but God brings the paint plus the person who teaches her like everything, you know. So it was very easy for him to interact with everyone, and he went back. So everyone was like, okay, so nitafutie Mzungu.
I'm also wondering whether I want to ask the same.
Everyone, but I have a lot of inboxes. So people are like, okay. So you see, for people who knew me, they knew I was waiting for Mzungu. They did not know the details, what I've been writing. They only knew the face. So when I meet him, they're like, oh, okay. Some of them, they've been telling me, no, you had him. You are just like trying to play it in your magic. But the truth of the matter, I did not have him. I prayed and asked God in faith. Give me this. You know, we used to watch movies with my daughter, and then I'm like, so God, in this movie I can see like 100 Mzungus. So you see, where is mine? In those 5 years, it was not like smooth at just praying. I had moments of doubt. Not doubt, actually. I had moments of having one-on-one conversation with God, like, hey, manze, see you are taking so long. Even if I say that, I'm not in a rush, even if I say that 40, kwani you want to take it literally. You want to be literal, to be 40.
I said I'll be patient, but I never meant that.
I'll be patient, but yeah, hey, Mungu, I have been patient for 5 years. If you are testing my patience, 5 years I think is enough. So now you will see. You see, you know I can wait. So I was watching movies and I was like, okay, all these. So you give me one from these ones, whichever country, as in. Just give me something. But then again, I used to feel within my spirit that he's coming, he's on the way. He's on the way. So you just need to wait. And I was like, hey, man, it's been long. Okay.
Let me ask you, Faye, for this time, you say from the time you met till he came, it was 3 months duration. So you're just talking.
Yes.
Didn't you have any moment of fears, like, is it true? What if it's not true? Did you have any doubt about how was it the 3 months? How did you cope with till he comes?
Okay. The 3 months were us discussing the way we've been looking. We knew we actually knew that we were going to be something.
Okay.
So it was us discussing, this is what I've been through when I was waiting for you. This is what I've been through. And this is what I've been feeling. This is how it has been. So it was not a matter of saying, Ati, Kwani, is this the person? No, no, no. Especially when I saw the red hairs. I was talking to him. And then I saw the red hair in his beard. And I was like, oh, wait, do you have some red in your beard? And he had it when he was growing up.
Okay.
So it was fading.
Uh-huh.
But I picked it up immediately. So he's like, oh, how did you see that? So I tell him it's one of the signs and everything. He's very spiritual for him also.
Okay.
He believes that what he asks for and the type of a person he wants to have is going to find him.
Okay.
So he also didn't have moments of doubt if this is the person. Like, we knew. Let me tell you something. It's very possible to meet someone and instantly know if you're going to have something with that person or not.
Wow. Is that what they call first sight?
Well, it's not love at first sight. Because I did not see him to love him. I saw him and I knew this is the person.
Okay.
The spirit, my spirit and his spirit, I picked up from the spirit, not from the physical. It's not from the face. When I saw him, I was looking at the face in the eyes to feel deep within, which I did. Like, I can feel in my spirit. My spirit is not disturbed, you know. There are people who I meet and I feel I cannot even say hi to. I cannot even say something. Like, my spirit just is not fine with him. But when I met him, I was like, okay, the first feeling was like, I know this person from somewhere.